Hello guys, what's Motives here? I know that I said that I was gonna make another video tomorrow, but I feel like I'm in a mood for making even more videos, so why not? Anyways, we left off with Ariel and Gaster teleporting out of Tokyo. That is, not out of Tokyo, but out of the area which they were in, because of Endeavor and Best Genius, which were pushing them back rather heavily. Now, both Gaster and Ariel could use healing magic, so they fused. That is not. They did not. They that is. They didn't fuse. It's more like both of them used both of their hands to do healing magic on both of them. And after they were healed, they simply went ahead and gone to the black market of Tokyo, shall we say. Criminals, mafia, yakuza, gangsters, drug dealers, every single bad person which you could have was in there. And all of them immediately noticed Deku and Ariel, because when they were fighting the heroes, let's just say that a lot of news coverage was done, and all of them simply backed away immediately, because they were able to keep out dozens of villains, dozens of heroes at once, and police. And as they simply went there, a gangster tried to jump them. A very stupid on his part, because as soon as he did try to do that, Gaster immediately used one of his hands to grab him by the neck and, how do I put this bluntly? Break it. Just crack and threw him away, with everyone being shocked and terrified at the same time. And anyways, at this rate, both Deku and Ariel began subduing several gangs, and even at one point, several drug dealers as well. So, simply putting it, now they had a good hold, not a good hold, and a somewhat okay hold on the criminal underworld of Tokyo. And if you guys hadn't noticed already, I'm going to be making this Deku and a villain Deku. Or perhaps an anti-hero one. Still depends on what I want to do. Or what you guys comment in the video if you want it. A villain or an anti-hero. Because a hero... maybe my next what if is gonna be a hero. So, anyways, I'm getting a bit off topic now. And now let's see, where did I leave off to? Right. So, as they were subduing all of them, they had, let's say, 37 gangsters and 7 drug dealers under their command, which they could simply, order to do them. Most of them had weak quirks, except a couple of them which were somewhat more useful. One could read minds, although only for a short interval. And after that, another rather large mafia gang, shall we say, went ahead and tried to get rid of them. They had quite a lot more people than what Deku and Ariel had, but, he didn't have many powerful quirks with him. Even though they had the numbers, they were just that, numbers. They weren't extremely powerful or difficult to deal with. So, as that went on, they were able to completely wipe them out, or at least the strike force of 27 people which was sent to deal with them. And after that, let's just say that Deku sent Ariel and 5 other of the gangsters to go to that mafia boss, shall we say. What should I call him? Okay, let's call him Big Johnny. That sounds like a good name for him. And when they went there, they simply started negotiating. With Ariel being a bit on the darker side, she simply told him, either you fuck off, or we kill you. Let's just say that Big Johnny, after losing over 27 of his guys, sort of understood that these guys were no joke, and at the moment he didn't have enough men nor supplies to deal with them. So he simply did just that. He let them be and approach on his own business territory. And with that going on, let's swap into Bakugo and the rest of 1A. At the moment, they were training and doing exercises, along with. Uh, let's see. Well, this sort of blew off my entire canon point. Let's say that just now they're going to have the heroes versus villains exam, since I sort of forgot to include it in the last one. And well, as both of them were going there, Bakugo and Kirishima were going up against Todoroki, and let's see, who would be a good pair? And Togata. I think that he's the one who can copy quirks, so before the match starts, Togata simply starts copying everyone's quirk. Basically being all friendly with them and all that. And then Bakugo and Kirishima are going to be the heroes, while Todoroki and Togata are going to be the villains. As soon as that starts, both Todoroki and Togata use their ice quirks to completely freeze the entire area, with Kirishima simply being what he best does, doing what he's best at, and smashing the ice wall, and Bakugo simply exploding it. As they went on, Tomura suddenly jumped out behind a wall and used both the fire and the ice which Todoroki had. He couldn't use much of it because it used up too much of his own stamina, but he could still use enough of it to let's block Bakugo and Kirishima from getting any further. And that's when Todoroki came in behind them and used an ice wall, trapping both of them between metaphorically, a rock and a hard place, since they had nowhere to go. That's when Bakugo used One for All. At, like I said, 17%. He blew a hole right through the roof to Kirishima and jumped through it. And well, at this point, Todoroki wasn't having it, so he also went up to that hole and started attacking them with more ice attacks. At one point, almost even using his fire side, but due to him remembering all of his daddy issues, he simply said no. And, well, deignited it, I think. No, extinguished, I believe. That's how you say it in English. And, well, after all that was finished, Togata came in using Momo's quirk and making some stun grenades. Simply throwing it at them and stunning them. Kirishima was sadly defeated, as what exactly they called. He was knocked out because of the blast, and also because Togata used his own quirk, hardening, and just smashed him right at his face, so he was knocked out cold. While Bakugo was now up against both Togata and Todoroki. So, as they simply fought, Bakugo used his quirk, Explosion, to make a gigantic hole to stop Todoroki from coming. Then he focused on Togata, using his quirk and, well, knocking him out with a uppercut. Yes, that sounds good, an uppercut. And exactly like when that happened, Todoroki used his ice. Crap. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, there we go. He used his ice attack to try and freeze him. He failed because Bakugo used an extremely large explosion. Just like the one which he used in the canon, in the anime when he was fighting against Deku with the hero as a villain exam. And well, simply putting it, Todoroki was also knocked out cold. And just like that, Bakugo and Kirishima won the heroes versus villains exam. Now, switching back to, well, Izuku, that is Deku and Ariel. At this moment in time, Izuku, that is Deku, is 19 years old, and Ariel is, what did I say? I think she's 20 and a half. Actually, no, let's put it at 20 years old. So there we go. That is crap, I forgot it. Shit, I was wrong. Due to the aging which they receive from the void, Deku is currently, I would say, 46 years old. in mental state. They were stuck there for that long. And Ariel is also 46 years old. And well, they simply began devising out plans. How to take even more crime syndicates all over Japan. Making connections and all of that jazz. And eventually they met Overhaul. Overhaul wanted to muscle in on their operation, and then Deku simply said, "No thank you," as he summoned 20 Gaster blasters, which then a fight ensued. Overhaul and 7 of his goons simply trying to defeat Deku, because at this moment in time Ariel was doing some other things in the black market. You know, selling drugs and selling guns. Normal stuff you do in the black market. And as everything was going just like that, Deku was fighting against Overhaul, and he was winning rather rapidly, as he was able to take four of his goons immediately without anything even happening to him. And then Overhaul used one of his attacks, which finally grazed Deku, as he was able to simply teleport right behind him and then try to do it. But that's when Overhaul sort of went ahead and grabbed his face. And all you know what his quirk is. Overhaul. He can control anything he touches. That is, he can recreate it or destroy it completely. And as he simply put his hand on Deku, something weird happened. And by that, I mean that nothing happened. Deku was technically a part of the void, and the void cannot be destroyed, nor can it be tamed. So it was rather hard for Overhaul to do anything against him in that moment. And well, let's just say that Gaster had enough of him. He used his bones to impale him in his stomach. Although that's when the big guy who could take, I believe he could take energy from other people surrounding him to make himself even stronger. He did that and basically punched Deku through 3 different walls. Deku was cracked, but not broken. And as all of that was going on, wait, oh, sorry about that noise, guys. Looks like something passed through the window. Okay, so as that was going on, Deku simply got back up. Overhaul and the rest of his goons were gone, except the 3 which he was able to kill. They left them just lying there. And that's when Gaster began his new experiments. He started infusing them together, using the void and his own powers. Basically melding humans' flesh, skulls, and, well, bones together. Although those people could use their quirks, they could not use them really effectively, because they were simply puppets. And he was able to make 2 of them, using the 3 people which were left there by Overhaul, because they were dead. Then he wanted to see what they could exactly do. So he simply sent them to a rival gang. Needless to say, they were amalgamations. Abominations, shall I say. Not human, more like a monster. And well, the gangsters tried to shoot at them, use their quirks. One had a quirk which allowed him to create fireballs. He fired that. It did start melting them, but it didn't kill them. They were still alive. Even when they were a ghoul, they were still moving and trying to kill them. Until eventually the guy who could use fireballs as quirk eventually evolved because of the situation. Now he could use blue flames and incinerated both of the abominations. Let's say that one who was able to do that, let's call him Spike. Yes, that's a good name, Spike. And as that was going on, they had no clue, neither Spike nor his gang leader knew what those things were or who sent them. Although now All For One was a bit curious about what they were, since after All For One has both informants and spies in almost every single bit of the criminal underworld of Japan. Maybe even the world, although I'm not sure. The anime never clearly says anything about that. And so he gets interested by them. He tries to find out who made them. But sadly, he cannot really do that much because of his injuries, which he attained from fighting against All Might. And well, moving on. And well, actually, let's see. That's about 15 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, but this is going to be my last Gaster video today. Anyways, see ya. I hope you all enjoyed and have a, let's say, good life.